We are the higher self of the one known to this instrument as Marianna, who was born on this planet Earth on 2000 of your current time-space. We are connected to you, beloved, from the sixth density consciousness, and we are connected to you in the divine love and light of the one Creator, who is within each of us and within each of the various entities on your planetary sphere. Before we start to address upon your query, we would like to warn you to only accept insights that resonate deeply with your heart and to leave those insights that do not resonate, because your inner heart realizes the truth when it sees it. There is some reality which this entity must understand, which it can see. Every situation is an opportunity to grow. Everything that happens is giving you the opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more loving. Everything that happens to you is for the higher good. Some situations offer you the opportunity to release an attachment or let go of an emotion that no longer serves you. Allowing you higher good means knowing deep inside that you are safe and loved and that your higher self is always working for you. Start now to tell yourself that the universe is perfect and that everything you do and everything that happens to you is perfect. As you grow spiritually, you will gain a greater understanding of why things are happening, and you will come to see the perfection in everything that occurs. From the higher perspective of today, you may be able to look back into the past and know the things you once interpreted as negative offered you growth and new beginnings. Trust that whatever other people do will in some way be for your higher good, even if you do not understand why. No matter what happens, tell yourself the universe is perfect and everything that happens is perfect. If something you were hoping for does not happen, know that something even better will. Do not try to force us as your higher self to create your pictures of how things ought to be. Know that a higher wisdom is always operating. Remember that your higher self is always here and guiding you to allow more good into your life through your contact within. Today, this instrument desires to understand the past incarnations of the one known as Marianna Pentila. We are going to tell you one timeline from the infinite timelines that are present in the infinite dimensions and vortices of time, space, and space-time. Please understand that we are here to share with you one timeline of this entity's soul evolutionary cycle. And this entity is existing in various timelines, also experiencing different circumstances and different type of life, learning various lessons. This entity in the first density life cycle originated from the one Creator on the Arcturian star system 99 million years ago. The soul name of this entity is closer to Mayalmu in your language terms, which means the love of the Creator. This entity then started to evolve further in the first density consciousness in the form of fire, learning the lessons of beingness in the form of the first density element known as fire. Soon after which this entity then moved upward in the level of consciousness and then reached the middle level, and also moved into the later level of the first density consciousness, wherein this entity began to learn the lessons in the form of the stones that were found on that planetary sphere at that time space. During that life cycle, it learned many lessons of beingness in the form of stone, after which this entity then began to enter into the second density consciousness, wherein this entity learned the lessons of that of experience, similar to your so-called plant life found in your planet. After reaching the middle second density consciousness, this entity entered into the later second density consciousness and reached the later phase of second density consciousness, wherein it began to learn the lessons in the form of the animal life in your planets. After reaching the later phase, and after around 78,000 years, this entity then graduated into the third density consciousness on the same planet of its origins, wherein this entity began to embody physical vehicles that appear similar to your human mind body spirit complex, and began to learn the lessons of the third density consciousness, the lessons of choice, after which this entity then reincarnated in this same level density of consciousness and was transferred to the Lemurian lands around 65,000 years ago, wherein this entity began to learn the lessons in the form of a Lemurian. At that time period, this entity began to learn the lessons of a Lemurian and slowly evolved faster and faster. Since the Lemurians at that time period were guided by the Pleiadians, they were able to guide the Lemurians into the higher levels of consciousness, and this entity then moved upward in the level of consciousness and reached the so-called fourth density consciousness by graduating, as the window of opportunity was available at that time period also. In essence, this entity is a fourth density wanderer who has come here on this planet Earth in order to serve humanity and help humanity in this ascension process into the fourth density consciousness. Not only that, this entity is here to share its love light energies to other people on your planetary sphere. Also, this entity has to make the choice of choosing the positive polarization or the negative polarization based on its free will, and after doing this, this entity will graduate into the higher levels of consciousness. Therefore, beloveds, go forth and rejoice in the love and the light of the one infinite Creator. And please understand that you have free will on your planet. Therefore, beloved, we leave you now in the love and in the light of the one Creator. Further, we forgot to mention that this entity did not have any past life as a human. This entity currently reincarnated on the year 2000 as a wanderer to be of service to other entities on your planetary sphere. Therefore, beloved, go forth and rejoice in the love and in the light of the one Creator. Adonai.